am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Oh wait, nope. The other thing, my bad. EVs are here to undo all that. Hey, who wants to drive a Polestar? If there's one thing we learned from Tesla, it's that building cars is hard. So, when a company that was launched in late 2017 already has 2 models out on the streets, that's a pretty amazing feat. What's more amazing is that the brand's mainstream vehicle is quite good. That's what you get from the Polestar brand and its Polestar 2 all-electric sedan. Reporting for EV Pulse, I'm Chad Kirshner. We recently traveled to Santa Fe, New Mexico to drive the expanded Polestar 2 lineup for 2022. For a car that's already had its big debut, a model year refresh may sound like small potatoes, but it's actually a big deal. You see, when the company started, it had one flagship, the Polestar 1, and that was it. The Polestar 2 joined the family shortly after, but it was only available as a top-spec, dual-motor variant with all of the options. This wasn't out of the ordinary. Automakers often launch the most expensive cars first to help ensure sustainable margins on new models. But for 2022, model variants are here. All new for 2022 is the front-wheel drive, single-motor Polestar 2. Additionally, the dual-motor variant is broken down into several option packages with a new price. For this first drive experience, we're going to focus on the front-wheel drive version. If you want to learn more about the dual motor's performance, check out our full review at evpulse.com or by clicking the link in the description. Santa Fe is an interesting place to have a car launch. With our hotel residing at an altitude of 7,000 feet above sea level, gasoline-powered cars tend to not make as much power. Turbocharging helps at altitude, of course, but the less dense air simply makes it hard for an engine, or a human for that matter, to breathe. Fortunately, these are electric cars, and that doesn't matter. Santa Fe is also an interesting place to have a car launch, thanks to its proximity to the Los Alamos National Lab. Our drive route for the day took us into the town and around the facility, with a stop to get coffee at the home of Hans Beth, who headed the theoretical division at Los Alamos. He developed the theory behind the implosion method for detonating a nuclear bomb. His home, situated on Bathtub Row, was right next to J. Robert Oppenheimer's dormitory. The juxtaposition is stark between Oppenheimer's I am become death, the destroyer of worlds, and electric vehicles that are hopefully going to help save our own world. Either that, or it was just a cool place to have a driver swap and get a cup of coffee. But we digress, because the truly impressive aspect of the trip was just how good the base model Polestar 2 actually is. The single-motor Polestar 2 with a long-range motor is rated for 265 miles of EPA range. It has a starting price of $45,900 before any state or federal tax incentives. If you qualify to receive the full $7,500 federal credit, that puts the price below the single-motor Tesla Model 3 with a few extra miles of EPA range. Unlike most of the competition, the Polestar 2's single motor lives up on the front axle. According to Polestar, that decision was made because it's easier to package all the electronics up front. The company didn't rule out a rear-drive variant of the Polestar 2, but folks who live in climates where it snows will likely appreciate front-wheel drive over rear-wheel drive. Acceleration is brisk in the Polestar 2 single motor and feels roughly on par with our long-term Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. It's easy to exploit gaps in traffic by simply putting your foot down, and the one-pedal driving mode will bring the car to a complete stop. Varying levels of regen and steering feel allow the driver to dial in exactly the experience they want while driving. The biggest takeaway, though, is simply how quiet the Polestar 2 is. Whether it's better sound dampening, tire compound choice, or simple voodoo magic, the Polestar 2 is significantly hushed at highway speeds. It's quieter than the Model 3, and even some other EVs we've driven. We drove a completely base-spec Polestar 2, and it was almost uncanny how quiet it was. The base interior is also quite nice, with unique textured plastics and eco-friendly seats that are comfortable but still a bit sporty. The fantastic Google Android-based infotainment system comes standard and is a joy to use. Having actual Google Maps in the instrument cluster is a game changer, and being able to install apps from the Google Play Store quickly made me forget that the car doesn't support Apple CarPlay. Though, it should be noted, support is coming later in an over-the-air update. The first optional upgrade is the $4,000 Plus Pack. This includes the heat pump option. The heat pump works like a reverse refrigerator and helps warm the cabin more efficiently. Polestar claims a 10% driving range improvement in cold weather as a result. For those who live in bitterly cold climates, the car still retains a resistive heater even with the heat pump. The Plus Pack also includes a full-length panoramic glass roof, WeaveTech vegan upholstery, and interior lighting. A Harman Kardon stereo rounds out the list of upgrades. For those looking for additional driver assist features, the $3,200 Pilot Pack is for them. It includes adaptive cruise control, Pilot Assist Level 2 ADAS, blind spot monitoring, and a 360-degree surround camera. Aside from the around view camera, the Model 3's standard autopilot suite covers most of that functionality for the base price. In the future, we'd like to see Pilot Assist included standard on the Polestar 2. For performance junkies, the $5,000 Performance Pack is an upgrade to consider, though it's only available on the dual-motor long range. It includes 20-inch alloy wheels, Brembo brakes, Continental Sport tires, Swedish gold aesthetic details, and the incredible Öhlins adjustable suspension dampers. When it comes to charging, all Polestar 2 models can charge at up to 155 kilowatts from a DC fast charger with the CCS onboard connector. Google Maps will locate charging points along the drive route automatically, helping to eliminate the anxiety of searching for a station. Right now, it's pretty solid, and an upcoming software update should make the system even better. Critics will say that the Polestar 2 is a bit of a parts bin car. Sure, the headlights strongly resemble the Thor's Hammer Volvo lights. The steering wheel feels like it's from an XC40, but Polestar is working hard on its brand identity. The Polestar 2 feels premium inside, but substantially different than a modern Volvo. Polestar is clearly targeting a tech-centric buyer, and even if components are shared, the implementation is starkly different. The upcoming Polestar 3, built in the United States, will feature a design language based on the Polestar Precept concept, creating even more separation between the brands. The buying experience is also uniquely Polestar. Polestar spaces are starting to appear around the country, and the company will do complimentary pickup service up to 150 miles away from a service center. We're told that on-site service is something in the cards as well. The Polestar 2 is impressive because it's the company's second car. Even in pre-production European spec, the cars have solid build quality and fantastic sound isolation. Precision manufacturing doesn't seem to matter as much these days when it comes to the largest electric car maker in the world, cough cough, but it's quite refreshing to drive a vehicle where it's an important part of the process. The Polestar 2 is great. It's great in dual motor trim. It's great in single motor trim. It's great fully loaded, and it's great with no option boxes checked. We'd like to see a few more color options, but aside from that, the Polestar 2 is a compelling alternative to what's out there. Heck, one of our writers just ordered one. We think there's no bigger endorsement than that. For more on the Polestar 2 and its competition, visit evpulse.com, where you can research the right electric vehicle for you.